All right, guys. Today we have another big story to talk about coming out of the LEC. This story just dropped over on cheapesports.com. Obviously, we're doing our best to keep you guys up to date on all the latest news throughout the LOL offseason. Crazy stuff, lots of stories, lots of news, lots of details coming out. So for this one, obviously, as you can see, sources Trymbi returns to the LEC after 1 year in Brazil. He's going to be joining Team BDS. Very, very big deal here. After a year off from the LEC, Trymbi is back in the EMEA region. The Polish player is expected to make his return with Team BDS. With this move, Trymbi will join his 5th European team since his arrival in the league in 2021. Now that's crazy for a couple different reasons. One, 5 different teams in that time span is insane, but also, that's not even including a move to Brazil, I guess. But also the fact that 2021 was so long ago. I mean, we're coming up on 2026 now. That's insane too. Time really does fly so fast. So looking for a replacement after allowing current support Perus to explore his options, BDS quickly turned to Trymbi. The Polish support had just completed a year in the LTA South with Vivo Keydstars, a stint that included Worlds qualification. Alongside BDS, his former team also submitted an offer, as Trymbi had originally signed only a 1-year deal. Not as Vincere expressed interest as well, but he was not their top priority. They ultimately moved forward with Perus instead. Another strong candidate considered by Team BDS was Targamas, actually, who had recently parted ways with K-Corp following their acquisition of Busio. So, all these different dominoes and pieces falling in different places. Once Busio goes to K-Corp, K-Corp doesn't need Targamas anymore, so then Targamas is going to be considered for these other positions, but now BDS doesn't need his support anymore, so it's going to be interesting to see where Targamas ends up as well. But after a disappointing year and below expectations in terms of results, Team BDS are looking to start the 2026 season on a new footing. After a difficult summer split collectively, which concluded with a 0-3 playoff loss to Giant X, BDS started their offseason by looking at bot lane alternatives and to retain most of their top side with Rooster, who had just arrived before the start of the summer split. The support position will therefore be the first change made by the Swiss organization in this offseason. BDS chose a safe bet, accustomed to the LEC, who has delivered good performances wherever he's played, arriving in the biggest European league in 2021 with Rogue and Han Sama as his mentor in the bot lane. Trymbi won the LEC and reached World quarterfinals a year later alongside Comp. During his time in LEC, he played Worlds 3 years in a row, twice with Rogue and then once with Fnatic as well. His last experience in the LEC was with Team Heretics, where he and his team failed to achieve significant results. After that, he chose to leave Europe for the LTA South. Despite a rocky start, Vivo Keydstars eventually won the 3rd split of the region and qualified for Worlds after a victory against PSG Talon. In a recent interview for Sheep Esports, the player had assured that he was not going to the Worlds to collect participation awards. He wants to compete and ensure the West can perform there, an objective he therefore hopes to again achieve with Team BDS, whose last participation in Worlds dates all the way back to 2023. So now the reported 2026 roster for BDS that we are looking at now with Trymbi in there as well is going to be Rooster, Bukata, who they're saying is likely because his contract is until 2026, Nuke in the mid lane because his contract is until 2026 as well, so he seems likely, Trymbi the support, and that AD carry position still to be determined, so we'll have to wait and see. But nonetheless, a very, very big deal. Trymbi returning home, coming back to Europe after a brief stint in Brazil. Again, a guy who at his best can be one of the better supports in the West, but been a little bit up and down here and there, so we'll have to see how this plays out. But either way, a big pickup for BDS and a big story that Trymbi is back in the LEC. Pretty much it for this video today, guys. Hopefully catch you the next one. Until then, peace.